work on the brush sound mirrors. The microphone, as you can see, somebody cut the cord, I stripped it down, went to go ahead and use it, and somebody left the wires just like that and nothing on it. So I'm going to go ahead, put a condenser capsule in this, make up a little power supply for it, and I'll just make it a little condenser microphone. Fortunately that will be solid state, but it'll be close enough. Look at these schematics I've got for these sound mirrors, and apparently they're going to need, when I replace the power cords, new safety capacitors, the X and Y. I need Ys right here. Line filter, if you can see that. Sorry, stupid lens got. Let's see where we are. Line filter, 0.2 microfarads, 0.02 microfarads at 400 volt. Need to replace those. Bring it over here. Lift this one up. This one, somebody did a bit of a recap job on it. This Mallory's been replaced. I don't know what was originally there, but a lot of the wires in here, if you look, like down here and stuff, they've all been cut and reorganized. Which isn't too bad. I mean, it looks like somebody just basically a couple of years ago wanted to fit this with new resistors, because these don't have the waxy coating, the other one does, and it looks like they replaced the power cord. Although I was told this is the original power cord, so I have no clue. As you can see, they replaced this with a little disc capacitor. I don't know what was originally there, but I've got these two Y capacitors. Without those, you can easily get shocked. Problem is, I have nobody to help me try and track those down. I've been looking, and I have no luck trying to find those. So what I need is a 0.02 waxy capacitor. Those are the Y. So I can replace it with a disc, but I think these are too much of a value to replace with disc. I think you have to do, you know, like a new film or something like that. Capacitor. If I can't replace those, I'll probably just chuck these in the garbage. I mean, there's not a whole lot I can do unless somebody helps me track them down. You know, without replacing those, they're pretty much useless, as they're just unsafe to run. Because there is no ground, and I really don't want to replace these with a grounded power cord. I mean, I'm going to try and find a better vintage plug than that. It's not vintage at all, but at least it's polarized. But I have had some luck before finding vintage looking power cords that were polarized. But you know, I'm just not going to put a three pin power cord on it. Mainly where I take these and stuff, there's just be too much of a pain to try and get a third wire. You know, taking, you know, 3-wire power cord around is much more of a pain than just a simple 2-wire. So unless I can you know, have something help me find, I need 4 of them, because I've got, actually I'll need 6, because I think this brush, well, I'm looking at getting another one, so if I could just get 8 of them, maybe 10, have 2 for spares, I'd be happy with that. So let me know if anybody out there has any idea. I tried a site up in Canada, but they want something like a $40 minimum order, and on top of that, their checkout makes no sense. You have to mail a stupid piece of paper in and try and check little boxes off or something like that. And the problem with that is the way it's lined, you know, laid out, the lines and stuff on it aren't too clear what's of the X and Y value capacitors, or series capacitor, whatever you want to call it. And, you know, then it shows the orange drops and stuff, but yeah, that says you can order orange drop capacitors that are X and Y. It doesn't make any sense. So let me know if anybody out there has any vintage looking plugs. This is kind of older looking one, but it's not polarized, so I'm not going to use that on here, just because the one side, there's a fuse up in here. The one side goes to the fuse and the other side goes to the transformer. Obviously you want the ground going to the transformer and the hot going to the fuse and to the switch. So I don't want to reverse the plug on these and, you know, have any problems. This amplifier is 3 tubes and the capacitor is the same. That transformer is the same. Everything's the same. This one is 4 tubes. This one's been added, I think. Let me see. Because I've got the other one. This one's original. This one's been added. And I guess those two, yeah, those two are original. But they changed the value on this to a 6v6. So I think somebody's actually just modified both amplifiers. Unless I'm wrong, but this one looks like somebody came in and attempted to restore it back to working condition without keeping an original. Although I do have the schematics, but I need to get all the capacitors and everything together before I attempt to go through and, you know, gut everything and, you know, remove these, figure out what this extra one does. I don't know if this is an extra power tube, which it could be, because on this one they did that little thing that sits up in a corner. This is a semi-professional. Well, that one's a professional and that one's a domestic. This doesn't look like a power connector as I originally thought, but rather something that has to do with, this has to do with the speaker. I think that's like a output for another one or something. I pounded that out pretty flat so it fits in better now. So I'm not sure whether that's the output and that's the input and that's balanced, or I have no idea. Unless on this one they've got the ground coming off for something that goes up to a motor or something. I'm not sure what that goes to. Maybe a switch or something. I don't know what that goes to. This one, it's ungrounded. And I have yet to see what that amplifier's like. So let me know then out there if anybody has any ideas for the X and Y capacitors. As you can see, the amplifier, they did keep these. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, they've got the same amount of tubes, so I think that's just a power output tube or something. I gotta replace the handle on this one. Sew something up. So, thanks for watching.